Unbelievable coincidences that are hard to believe. Before starting this video, don't forget to subscribe Global Facts YouTube channel. Number 1. Reincarnation coincidence. The founder of the Ferrari company, Enzo Ferrari, died on August 14, 1988. Just a month later, on October 15, Arsenal footballer Mesut Ozil was born. Take a look at their pictures side by side. Massive coincidence? Or proof of reincarnation? You decide. Number 2. The Simpsons predicted Trump for president way back in 2000. The creators of The Simpsons made an episode in the year 2000 which made a joke about Donald Trump becoming president of the United States. Could they ever have guessed that one day it would become true? Even more amazing is the fact that the show presented Trump's election campaign in a way that was almost identical to scenes from real life when he launched his presidential bid. Number 3. The two people circled in the above picture are Amy Maiden and Nick Wheeler. They were set to be married and were visiting Nick's grandparents where they were looking through photo albums. They found this photo of Nick at a beach in Cornwall, England. When they took a closer look, Amy noticed that it was her in the background. This picture was taken 11 years before they were set to marry. They ended up getting married on the same beach where the picture was taken. Number 4. Two of America's presidents, namely Abraham Lincoln and John F. Kennedy, share a multitude of barely believable coincidences. Kennedy had a secretary called Mrs. Lincoln. President Lincoln had a secretary called John. They were both killed by a gunshot wound to the back of the head, on a Friday, before a celebration. Lincoln was killed just before Easter, Kennedy on the eve of Thanksgiving. Each was accompanied by his wife and another couple. Both had a friend called Billy Graham. Both had 4 children. Their successors in both cases were vice presidents called Johnson, who were both Southerners and Democrats. Number 5. In 2007, Michael Dick, who is pictured along with his 2 daughters, was traveling around the UK in search of his long-lost daughter Lisa. She was 31 years old and he had lost contact with her 10 years prior. He got in touch with the local paper, Suffolk Free Press, and they agreed to help him spread the word about his search. They took a picture of Michael and his daughters for the article they were going to post in the newspaper. After seeing the article in the paper, Lisa reached out so she could be reunited with her dad. But when looking at the picture, they noticed that Lisa was in the background of the picture taken for the paper. Lisa said, "I was completely shocked. Me and my mom had been standing in that exact place where the picture was taken about a minute earlier. And you can see us in the picture walking away. It is incredible." Number 6. We all know that the Titanic was a very large cruise ship that was supposedly unsinkable. But then it hit a large iceberg in the Atlantic Ocean and sank. That was in 1912. The strange coincidence began in 1898 when Morgan Robertson wrote a book called Futility. In this book, he wrote about a ship similar to the Titanic. But it was called the Titan. This ship was also unsinkable, but in the book it struck an iceberg and sunk. In the book, this incident took place the very same month that the Titanic sunk. Number 7. The Dutch cyclist who escaped 2 plane crashes. Believe it or not, Dutch cyclist Martin de Jong has escaped not 1 but 2 major plane crashes in his life. Not only was he supposed to be on board missing Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 before deciding to take a flight that departed an hour earlier. He was also supposed to fly on Malaysia Airlines Flight 17, the one that was shot down over Ukraine in 2014, before changing to a different flight in order to save money. Number 8. The separated twins with the almost identical lives. A set of twins from Ohio who were separated at birth grew up without any knowledge of each other's existence. Their lives did however share a number of strange similarities. They were both named James on their adoptions, they both grew up to be police officers, and both of them married women named Linda. But that's not all. Each had a son, one named James Allen and the other one named James Allen, and each also had a dog named Toy. Both brothers later got divorced, and both ended up remarrying women named Betty. Number 9. Mark Twain predicted his own death. Did the famous writer Mark Twain predict his own death? Well, if he didn't, then it was a major coincidence. The writer was born in 1835, when Halley's Comet was passing the Earth. It only passes once every 76 years or so, but Twain predicted that he would die on its next passing. "I came in with Halley's Comet in 1835, he said in 1909. "It is coming again next year, and I expect to go out with it." The writer died on the very day of its appearance in 1910. Number 10. Miss Unsinkable. Depending on how you look at it, Violet Jessop was either one seriously lucky lady, or she was one seriously bad omen. The stewardess and nurse was on the HMS Olympic when it struck the HMS Hawke. She was on board the HMHS Britannic when it sank after hitting a sea mine. And she was also traveling on the RMS Titanic when it sank after hitting an iceberg in the North Atlantic. No wonder she later became known as Miss Unsinkable. Friends, hope you liked this video. Please like and subscribe our channel. We will come with new videos shortly. Thank you for watching.